Sunflower Spirit Tarot, and I'm here with the message for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and any other significant placements. This is just going to be a general message, so whatever I see is what I'm going to read, but it's typically going to be about your relationship to something or someone in particular. All right, benevolent ancestors, spirit guides, guardian angels, those that come to us in and through unconditional love only. What messages do you have for Taurus at this time? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and any other significant placements. Taurus, what do they need to know, see, and be aware of from the time they view this video moving forward? What are the most important messages to, for, from, about, and around Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and any other significant placements from the time they view this video and moving forward? If this is your first time watching one of my readings, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and stick around. If you are already an official sunflower, then welcome back. I'm happy to have you. All right. Let's see. And one more. Let's do one more. Alrighty, Rue. Comfort, confirmation, or clarity, whatever Taurus needs at this time. Let's give it to them. At the bottom of the deck, we got the Three of Wands. That's an energy of yearning, watching, waiting, wondering, and also leaving your options open. Let's see here. 9 cards for Taurus, please. First card out, we got the 9 of Cups. We got the 8 of Swords. Let's scoot over here a little bit. We got the 3 of Pentacles. I don't even think I moved. My chair just keeps rolling back. We got the Empress, the Temperance card, the Moon, Princess of Swords, 10 of Swords, and the Princess of Wands. Okay, 7 of Pentacles as the overall energy. Let's clarify that and then we will get started. 7 of Pentacles. Why is that the overall energy for Taurus here? Why is it the overall energy for Taurus here? We got the 5 of Swords, the 2 of Cups, and the Hermit. We got the 8 of Cups at the bottom of the deck as the hidden energy. Either you're contemplating walking away from something that's emotionally unfulfilling, or you have already walked away from something that is emotionally unfulfilling. And I think the hope is that you can regain some sense of self, period. Some sense of self, some sense of self-esteem, self-confidence, self-love, okay? There's some situation that you were in that was not allowing you to see yourself as you truly are. You felt bound or suppressed or suffocated or repressed by the role that you were playing in this relationship. Now, what I will say is that a lot of feminines who are in feminine bodies who are playing the role of the mother in the household, the wife in the household, oftentimes you're suffocated by that role because it's about everybody else but you all the time. It's about everybody else's needs, desires, dreams, wants, right? And you get to pour into you when? Last, if at all. Everybody else gets to eat first, and mom makes her plate last. There was a time where women used to make dinner for everybody and eat quickly in the kitchen. Are you kidding me? Those times luckily are over, but maybe not for everybody, and maybe not in every way. And maybe that's symbolic of something, right? Mothers always putting themselves last, and women with families always coming last in this society. Now, you may not be a feminine in a female body, but that's just a message for those who are. I will say that any feminine in this energy right now is feeling as if like you are feeling stifled, like your creativity is stifled. You might be dealing with art block if you're an artist in any capacity, in any way, shape, or form. You might be feeling as if you're not connected to your femininity. You might be feeling as if the role that you have played, whether it's in a relationship, at a job, in your environment, has masculinized you, has turned you into something that you don't really recognize, has created this guarded and armored version of you that you wish that didn't exist. I see you yearning right now for the soft life, or at least a softer life, child. I see you being in relationships where people wanted you to fulfill a certain role or to do certain tasks or to be a certain person. And I sometimes think that that might be in direct conflict with your sense of femininity, because not all femininity is the same. Femininity is not a monolith, right? Some femininity is fierce and ferocious and strong, right? And some femininity is soft and yielding and nurturing. What is your femininity, right? You have to define that for yourself. Maybe you're not the marrying kind. I remember when Big told Carrie she wasn't the marrying kind. It hurt her, it upset her, but she ain't. She's not the marrying kind, even though I know they got married. She got married to somebody else. Sex in the City is what I'm referencing, if you guys don't know. But some women are not the marrying kind. Some feminines are not the marrying kind. Some feminines don't want to have a traditional relationship. And even if they do end up getting married, they don't want to fulfill the same roles that is traditional, right? I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not birthing no babies, I'm not taking care of no kids. I want to live and I want to thrive and I want to enjoy my life. I want to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel like. That's what I feel like from this. It's like you were in a role to be like serving someone or serving something, as opposed to you being served. You know what I mean? And some people might think of that as like narcissistic or selfish. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that in situations, oftentimes women have to choose whether they will serve or be the one who is being served. And I'm always going to recommend people choose to be served, especially feminines, especially in a world that takes our labor for granted, tells us it's not worth anything, and then gets mad at us when we don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that kind of energy here. Just being kind of fed up with the system in general. Being fed up with people's expectations of femininity. Being fed up with people's expectations of who you should be and how you need to fit into their life, because this is what they want from you. As opposed to looking at you as a whole person and honoring that person, or just saying, hey, we're not compatible. Because if you want a feminine who's going to cook and clean and do all of those things, or serve you or be of service to you at all times, there are feminines out there who live for that, who feel that that is their purpose, their passion, and I love that. But you can't take a feminine who maybe isn't cut out for that life and try to force fit her into that life. And I think maybe up until this point you thought you were that kind of feminine, because they tell us that we're all that kind of feminine. And we're not. We're not all the same. And it's not either this or that. It's not either Eve or Lilith. It's not either black or white, good or evil. There's no binary when it comes to femininity or masculinity. How we define that for ourselves is how we show up in the world. And if people can't accept that and appreciate you for who you are and what you bring, regardless of what you're not willing to do, then you're not compatible with that person. The unfortunate part comes in is where most masculines feel like they were promised something that they're not getting, because a lot of feminines are waking up and realizing, I don't want to devote my life to other people. I don't want to devote my life to being of service in a traditional way, right? Being a partner and a parent. I don't want to devote my life to always like, do you need something? Do you want something? How can I help you? Sometimes you want to lay back and be the one who's being served, who's being helped. What can I get for you, Miss Feminine? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you want to be in that role. And sometimes people live to play that role. Not all feminines. And sometimes those sides merge, obviously. I'm talking about, extremes. But there is no binary when it comes to femininity. However you choose to express that is up to you. And if you've been living under some illusion that your femininity is the kind that's soft and nurturing, it's not. It's not. And maybe you are a nurturing, loving, kind person. And maybe you do want to live the soft life. But I don't think that you want to fit into any kind of traditional role for anybody. For anybody. And you feel like if you are able to fulfill something for yourself, then you would be putting other people at a disadvantage and vice versa. It's like, well, if I do this, then I'm putting myself last. I'm putting myself at a disadvantage. I'm making sacrifices. Sacrifices are required. It doesn't matter what life you choose. It doesn't matter what kind of feminine you are. Sacrifice is required to create the life that you desire, period. It doesn't matter what that sacrifice is. It doesn't matter what you're walking away from. It doesn't matter what your priorities are. There are always going to be things that fall off. There are always going to be things that have to be released and let go of and sacrificed for your greater good, for the life that you're trying to create for you. Okay, let's clarify a little bit. Let's get into it a little bit more here. 8 of Swords. I feel like the idea of traditional femininity, or the way that the role that femininity plays in, like, I would say, for example, I'm from the USA, so I'm American, right? So I would say in the idea of traditional American patriarchal values as far as what a woman contributes, you feel like that idea is suffocating, okay? And I'm right there with you. It is. I have been there in real life, in real time, right? 8 of Swords. Yeah, but you feel like that's what everybody expects from you. And anytime you try to bust out of that prison, that mental prison of obsolete ideas and programming that doesn't actually belong to you or doesn't actually reflect your values. You feel like you have to prove yourself all the time, and people are constantly trying to tell you you're wrong, you're bad, you're evil, you're not a real feminine. You don't want to have kids. You don't want to get married. You don't want to be in a traditional relationship. No way. You suck, right? And maybe they're not saying you suck, but you know what? You understand what I'm saying. This is you here in the red. You're in the center. You're fighting all of this off. That's what's keeping you in this mental prison, is this idea that you have to be something that other people expect you to be just because you are feminine. Just because you may have been born into a female body. You're allowed to express yourself however you choose to, even if it's not in a feminine way. I don't care what anybody says, how anybody feels. This is my body, just like that one's yours. And you get to customize your character however you choose to. If you want to be alternative, be alternative. If you want to go against the grain, go against the grain. If you have beliefs and ideas that are non-traditional and people are coming up against you, you don't always need to defend yourself. And I feel like that's probably why you keep quiet, or why you're not super honest with people about what you want or what you need or how you feel about things. And this is just in general. Because you don't want the opposition. You don't want to have to always be defending yourself. Because you understand that you might think way differently than the people around you or in your environment think. You may think way differently than most of the people that you know. You may even think way differently than the way that you were raised to think. And it's always starting arguments. It's always starting conflict. I would suggest that you find some sort of community, whether it's physical or online, that validates what you believe, right? And it's not about creating, this soundproof chamber where no bad thoughts or no negative comments get in. It's about resonating with people who believe what you believe, who are on the frequency that you're on, who are riding the wave that you're riding, so you don't feel so crazy and so senseless all the time, so you don't feel so conflicted within yourself. Am I wrong? Am I right? That doesn't even exist. It's not even real, okay? It's not even real. Let's clarify the Ten of Swords. I think you wish sometimes that you could just be normal, that you could just fit in, that you could just be like everybody else. Why does your life have to be so hard? And anybody who has ever been different has had those thoughts. Anybody who has ever been outside of the social norms in any capacity has always thought that way. Because it is easier to fit in, and then you try it and you realize, no, it's not easier. You're slowly dying. You're killing yourself over here. Right? Trying to fit in with everybody else, trying to pretend like you believe what everybody else believes. It's okay to be the one dissenting voice in a room full of people who are saying, yes, you can say no. Right? And I think you're coming into that, you're realizing that. And I hope that you learn to release this pain. And what this pain is going to show you, it's going to illuminate a lot of these beliefs that you're holding about yourself and about people like you that may not be true. That may not be healthy, that may not be helpful. There is so much joy and so much life and so much love with the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck on the other side of the fear, right? I want to show you guys this card because this is like particularly impactful for this reading right now. I'm really seeing it as someone who feels like as if the way they want to live their life and express themselves not only hurts them, but hurts the people around them in some way, some shape, some form, some capacity. And because these are swords, I'm imagining that there are thoughts, beliefs, ideas, or words that have been used to either hurt you or that have been used to hurt other people who are like you, right? And it's really painful to think, like, what if I step out and I really become who I'm supposed to be, or who I feel like I'm supposed to be, or I really step into my authentic self? Am I going to end up getting hurt? Am I going to end up hurting myself? There might be a past version of you that existed that believed everything that you were taught to believe. And now this version of you doesn't believe any of that. Or doesn't believe the parts that are inhibiting you from becoming who you truly are. And that's directly in contrast to the person that you thought you were. I feel like that does cause a lot of pain. And it is going to cause you to feel as if you don't belong, or as if you don't know who you are, or as if you're confused. The confusion comes in because we try to convince ourselves that we're one thing and we're really the other. The sun is coming in to expose all that is in existence. The sun is coming through to expose all the lies that you've told yourself, all the ways in which you've stayed hidden, all the ways in which you have been hiding from yourself. Exposing that pain to you so that you can feel it, you can process it, you can move through it, and you can be on the other side, living a more fruitful and abundant life. A life that is more filled with passion and purpose than you could have ever imagined. And that happens with embracing yourself first. Embracing your values first. What do you really believe? Who are you really? This is a question of your identity, right? You're walking away from anything that no longer serves you, and you're going to see the ways in which you've been harming yourself by trying to fit into a box that you don't belong in, okay? I do see that there is something coming for you in the form of sacrifice. Whether you're sacrificing this pain, sacrificing this hurt, the things that you used to believe, it's going to open up new opportunities for you in the future. It's going to take time. This isn't going to be you flip a switch and overnight you feel better about who you are. You're going to have ebbs and flows on this journey. But I promise you, on the other side of this, you're going to feel so much more authentic and so much more in love with who you are and what you bring to the world, because it's important, and you are important, and you deserve to be free. This is what I have for you, Taurus. I hope that this was helpful or enlightening in some way. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll be with you next time.